Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining in for today's first session. Today we have Jack Tao. He is the co-founder and CEO of one of the top derivatives exchange, Phemex.com. Welcome, Jack.
Hello, Nupam. It's an honor to be here.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. So Jack will be talking about security across centralized and decentralized platforms. And following that, after 15-20 minutes talk, we can take some questions from the audience.
Yeah.
The floor is yours, Jack. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes. Hi, everyone. So it's I'm so happy to be here. It's an honor to attend this event. And I'm Jack Tao, the co-founder and the CEO of Phemex. So Phemex is established for 2 years already, and we're the top 10 derivatives exchange in the world. We not just provide derivatives trading, we also provide a spot trading as well. So today, so I want to talk about a little bit the security across the centralized and decentralized platforms. Of course, that Phemex is now still a centralized exchange, and as we can see, there's a lot of great projects in decentralized space. So I think security is one of the hot topic everyone is talking about. So today I want to deep dive into this topic and hopefully can share some information with you guys. So security is becoming an issue, right? It's not just for centralized exchange, but also for decentralized projects. As we know that just a couple months in this year, and the totally stolen or hacked funds already reached more than 600 millions, right? Which is not included the incidents about the Poly network, right? Poly network, they have the incidents occurred in August. Eventually, the hack returned most of the fund returned to the project owners, but the project is still exposed to his weakness. And if we count the Poly network's loss, so the overall will reach to $1 billion this year. So it's a significant amount of the money and the risk. So why decentralized platform seems to be vulnerable targets, right? So later I will introduce a little bit the risk on the centralized exchange, but decentralized, why it becomes so vulnerable targets. So I think there's basically three reasons. One is like a smart contract, right? Decentralized exchange or decentralized projects are mainly based and built upon small contracts, right? And one of the most common reason is their admin key. If the admin key get compromised, right, which is very common, and there's several projects that get exposed, and the whole project is in risk. And we have so many examples. And for small contracts, the admin key is not just one reason. Another reason is it's very hard to program correctly under the small smart contract, right? So the reason is, right, it's different from other projects, which all the major company like Microsoft or Google, they're programming, right? What they do is they try to make a thread or process working on its own and not communicate with other thread. So the reducing of the communication will actually simplify the scenario of the program to handle and will enhance the security. But under the decentralized world, and because the environment of our program and the nature of blockchain, our smart contracts have to communicate with each other, which creates a lot of edge cases and make the program much, much harder to correctly tested or audited. So that's the fundamental difference about the modern software development cycle. The second thing is like a coding mistake, right? So as simple as a typo or miss 1 0 and can cause significant loss and mistakes. If those hackers caught those issues before the developers, and the project also under the risk. The third reason is flash ROM. So it's kind of similar reason to smart contract. So flash loan is something that the hackers explores a way to work around the protocol, to find some edge cases when the borrowing and the lending can be controlled in a very small time window. So those edge cases will be exposed, and they can utilize those the weakness to attack the project. Right. So as I mentioned that in the example of the smart contract, the main key, private key, get compromised as like a paid network, and also like as we know this year, EasyFi, they lost millions of money on the simple mistakes. And you know, as a decentralized project, if you have administrative private key, it kind of like centralized in certain way. So this is not some when we invest or we participate in some projects, you have to look into those details. The second one is the code mistakes, right? So we have like the project is poorly managed, and you know, there's some mistakes, and it's not fully audited. I highly recommend that every participants or investors in the DeFi space, you have to make sure your project, the one you invested, has to be fully reviewed and tested and audited. Lots of great projects they publish their regular audit results or report in their website, and that's something you need to look in the search for and see. This give you a certain amount of confidence when you invest those projects. So flash loan is that they're attacking the protocol itself. When the protocol was designed, it's usually on some minutes level or seconds level. But hackers is they have a lot of time. They're smart enough, and they will look into even smaller time window, like microseconds or nanoseconds, or the edge cases between the communication between the protocols or the smart contracts. And this is not something difficult to do, and the barrier is low, which make the defendant part, which is the project development, much harder, and they have to walk through all the possibilities and all the communication between the protocols to make sure that itself is secure. So people keep asking like whether like a DeFi can be fully replace see if I can be fully replaced by DeFi, right? And from my opinion, yes and no, right? Yes and no. I think at the current stage, my point will be that this should be coexist at least for quite a long time. So why that? So I want to introduce a little bit of Phemex Security as an example, right? So why? So DeFi, because the organization, right, usually is based on the decentralized organization, right? Most of DeFi products, it's just the products. It's not a service, right? So what's the difference between products and service, right? So products and service, the key difference is like as a service is more than a product, which means you have a team, you have a lot of mechanism and to protect these products, to provide a well-rounded service, right? So take a Phemex Security as an example, right? So first we have our our deterministic code wallet system, right? It's based on, so we manage thousands of address, but we only use one key, right? And this is our key products, right? And it has we keep the assets, most part of assets in the cold wallet system to ensure the security, and only small portion on the hot wallet system, right? But that's not all story, right? So we have also needed to make sure that our system is under protection. Like we need firewalls. We hire a third-party auditor to regularly audit our system on quarterly basis, right? And upon the withdrawals, we have our AI system to check the behavior, and we also have a human scrutiny to make sure this is secure. And we have custom services that to help user to answer questions, to handle those fraud cases, right? All of those things cannot be or hard to be provided by decentralized organization, right? But they have a cool products. And my point of view is that lots of space that decentralized centralized service can join together to provide a well-rounded, a better service to the user. So, and as I mentioned that God forbid that knock the wood, like Phemex currently we never have any like hacking exploits, and we don't have any incidents based on any attacks successfully reached our wallet system, and our custom service is like 24/7. And I use many DeFi projects, and sometimes I got a problem and there's no way to get a correct answer. You have to search the forum and to figure out the answer by yourself. And I think if DeFi really want to successful, and the customers is really a key point, to build a community is one way, right? To have some group chat to live answer, to have some like agency or some ambassadors to help the community to answer the question, which will be very good for DeFi. And hacking and insurance. I want to mention insurance is also one way. That's a very good tool that centralized service provides. Lots of exchanges like Phemex, we have insurance, right? If like people get hacked or our wallet system get compromised, and all the losses were covered and backed by our insurance fund, right? Basically, that's all I want to talk about. And thanks for watching. I'm very happy. I'm active on the Twitter, and I'm very happy to answer any questions related to this kind of topic. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jack. Can we take a couple of questions if you don't mind?
Sure.
Perfect. Someone's asking at Phemex, how do we handle security breaches when a contract which had been added had some loopholes? So basically, does that remove all the liquidity? So I think they're asking about how do you handle the security at Phemex?
Right. So I can deep dive a little bit our wallet system, right? So as we know, hot wallet. So we have a cold wallet and hot wallet, and it's cold wallet is kind of secure because everything's offline. Signature, private key is all offline. Right, hackers cannot use any internet to reach those system, so it's relative safer than hot wallet. Excuse me. But hot wallet, the main problem is that people keep worrying that if your system is not secure enough, your hot wallet will compromise your private key. So Phemex have developed our wallet system, which has a very good feature is that the private key were never exposed to anywhere. So the wallet system will first generate all those addresses for our customers by a hierarchy structure. So one master key can generate all the sub account, and in this way, that when you generate, you need to generate the private key, right? So in a program or in a computer, so sometimes the private key will in a short time it will generate on the disk, or it will probably store some database. That's a very common way to manage their private key. But our system is not doing that. Everything is generating the memory in a very, very short time. It's in the microseconds. It's only appeared in the memory for like just less than I think it's less than around 1 microseconds. So which makes a hacker very hard to get a private key to fully control the wallet system. And that's some technical we already implemented in-house, and also so you have to protect the host, right? Most wallet system built on the data centers or Amazon cloud services, and there's a lot of ways that to protect the services, restricting the permission. So restrict the permission to access the host, and also have real-time monitoring on the programs to run on this host. So if a hacker know our program and he wants to scan our memory to get that private key in those nanoseconds, it's also very hard because we have real time to monitoring. We can only run certain predefined program on the host. And also, the whole team has built a very strong security software to monitoring and to control the permission to the host. So it's unlikely to get hacked to our hot wallet system. And also, as I mentioned, right, there's a lot of services. We have built a team and progress to working progress to how you test your program and who has the control to turn over, which means put the change into the production environment, and who will sign off this and who will have some back testing. All those processes so to some extent to guarantee the security, to make sure there's no mistakes or there's no human errors were incurred in this whole progress.
Right. I know, Jack, you mentioned that centralized exchanges and decentralized exchanges can coexist together. But do you think, like 5, 6 years down the line, decentralized exchange pose a threat to centralized exchanges in the future?
Maybe some products. So, for example, Uniswap, one of my favorite project. So Uniswap is a very good like a spot trading platform itself.
Yeah.
Right. So like people basically, so they want to buy some cool tokens or some have potential great projects. It's Uniswap can meet their needs, right? But as you can see that if you ask that whether Uniswap will totally like replace Binance or like Phemex spot trading, the answer probably no. Right, there's a couple of reasons. Right, the first reason is that Uniswap, the product itself, doesn't provide a bridge or gateway between the crypto and the fiat currency. Right, so if I'm a new user, I have US dollar or have like Singapore dollar, and the very first step is I needed to get USDT or some Bitcoin or Ethereum so that I can trade on Uniswap. But Uniswap itself doesn't provide this kind of service. The second reason is is as we can see, the total value locked in those projects is already huge. But if you ask whether it can be bigger, that's still questionable. The reason is there's a lot of like traditional funds, 401k funds, for example, right? There's some regulation around it. Like in Europe, there's a regulation says, if you want to trade any assets, you have to know the counterparty by law, right? So those funds, big money, they cannot enter the DeFi space because they are restricted by those laws. Because on the blockchain technology, you don't know your counterparties, right? You don't know the counterparties, right? So that's also one reason. So that's these two main reasons. There are many other reasons. And I think that I just give 2 examples because it's just a project. It needs a lot of service around it to make it even bigger and that's a lot of work to do. But eventually, if like I really like the V3 of the Uniswap, it's very successful, and I think if we can solve all those questions and also regulation follows up, I think it has a great potential. But it takes time. And then you see it, and also customer service. There are many ways to build a customer service, but I don't see any DeFi projects is trying to do that.
Yeah. Also, I think a lot of crypto traders would prefer this decentralized exchange because of the lending and borrowing features. Is that something that people can do on Phemex as of now?
Yeah, true. Yes, it's kind of financial products we're planning probably in this year. It's actually natural requirements. Like our major customers are a retail customer. They may have some cryptos stored in our platform, and they don't want to use it at any time. And on the other side, that market makers, they provide the liquidity. They have some hedge requirement in the funds to make their system working. So they have needs to borrow the money from somewhere, right? So we have a product. It's also some other platform will provide similar products, and we want to provide this kind of service, borrow lending service, to increase the liquidity, and also and they pay the borrower paid interest to the lender, and this is a very natural and a very good business area. Both wins, right? They provide liquidity and they get to the stable interest rate. I think it's a great product, and we already planned for that.
Great, great. Someone's asking, do you think the future of company stocks will be decentralized form, or maybe on some centralized exchanges we see that some company stocks are also being traded now. Is that something Phemex plans in the future?
Right, decentralized is a big topic. It's you can explain it in many dimensions, right? So some people think, some exchange or some platform think that the working from home is kind of decentralized, and some exchange may have multiple senior manager, and they kind of trust each other, and they make a decision all together. And this also some kind of like a decentralized. And I would say Phemex is also trying to explore the best way to organize a firm, right? So we have many successful firms in the history, and we kind of like we have many senior managers, including myself, and the most important things for organization is that if it's a company, right? So if you register somewhere, and you have to have some senior managers to control this company. Right. And what we are trying to do is that we're trying to make the team, the first team that trust each other, and we can discuss anything freely without worrying anything, and we can make our best decision to help to achieve the values for our customers. Right. That's right. The same goal, and that's what we're trying to do. But if you talk about decentralized, like Phemex, maybe some project we were trying to do, right? We're trying to build our ecosystem, and we don't fully control our system, and we want to build a kind of environment that to help our partners and the projects we invested to grow. So that's something we also want to do. This is that you cannot have like centralized control. Even you have, I don't think you will have good results, right? Yeah. And so. No one knows the future. No one, if you want to really control the future, will change it totally differently. And I think the freedom and the creative ideas all come from the different people, and it's never come from the upside from the upside to downside, right?
Yeah. I don't think not many people know about your journey, Jack. Could you tell us a little bit about how you got into crypto? We know that you were at Morgan Stanley, but like how that journey, how that change happened, and then you decided to launch your own exchange. How was that like?
It's a good question. So it's all started around late 2016, 2017. And I heard about it. Ethereum, and I was working in Wall Street, and we have a beer time on Friday, and suddenly all the friends around us started talking about the blockchain, and one of my friends from JP Morgan, and JP Morgan was leading a project related to blockchain, and they have some famous figures to promoting this kind of technology. So I was asked to look into this technology because I'm a tech guy. Yeah. And I read the white paper of the blockchain, and I feel really excited. I think this is really cool, and it's kind of like the building like a financial system for the meta universe. I know that's a project like a game like a Second Life. I'm not sure everyone knows. It's kind of a game that it has a financial system. You can have your real estate projects. You can buy and sell buildings in that game, and there's a lot of more kind of a meta universe game now. They all need this kind of like a financial system. And that's the first time I reached the blockchain, and I started to understand from the white paper. I started to understand the mechanism, and I feel trust on this technique. I think this is something I can do. The reason is the traditional financial system, it has so many regulations and so many controls, right? But underlying, everyone wants a freedom. They want their financial freedom. They want their freedom in kind of form. Financial freedom is one of the most important things for each individual. And the blockchain gives that option to people. right? Maybe Bitcoin or Ethereum is not perfect, right? The technology is not perfect, but the people like this option, right? It's decentralized, no one can control it. Many miner has certain level of control the whole platform, but overall, that's I would say this is no one individual can control it, right? And this is something really that hit me. It gives people an option to seek their financial freedom. And that's something that Phemex want to provide us to the universe. So we are building a bridge. We allow the fiat currency exchange to the cryptos. We provide a lot of products to help you to reach your financial targets and to wealth growth for people. It's all coming from this idea. So that's how I started. And I think
That's
2 years
great.
after, I think 2 years later, and I built a team, I got funded, and we have a group of people have the similar ideas. So it's no brains that Phemex was born.
Awesome. That is quite a story, Jack. I'll just take one last question, and I'll let you go. I think we're running out of time now. This is a question that I also wanted to ask. What's the team strength at Femex currently, and what are your future plans? Basically, where do you think Femex will be in the next 5 years? Let's put it that way.
Oh, 5 years, yes. So
Yeah.
maybe 2 years. So what are we
Okay.
trying to do? Yeah, what we're
Yeah.
trying to do right now is we're focused on building the local sites, and because we want to get closer to our users, and we're already starting to establish a lot of local office and the local projects in the local markets, and we're trying to do marketing over there so we can directly face into the client. Right now, we're just a global platform. Everyone can they have email, they can register with us, they can trade with us. But eventually, that we want to be more close to our clients, and we really want to build a very good service to our clients to reach their financial goal.
Right. Do you have any plans of coming to India, launching in India specifically at all?
Yes, I really want to travel. That one. I think 2019 is the COVID-19 explode,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that's the time that we established our company. So we never really get a chance to travel to meet our friends and partners and our vendors, and so we keep do the Zoom meeting, which is very convenient. But
Yeah.
sometimes we want a little bit person touch. We want to have a beer together.
Yeah.
Next time we will have a beer, even mobile in Singapore, whatever. So hopefully that COVID-19 will be gone. Will be the history very soon. And also, I want to remind people to stay safe. And the virus is still there, and everyone should take care of itself and take care of himself and the families. And but I think I'm positive. I think this is short term, and everything will be better.
Yeah. Also, just one last question, Jack. Like you said, you plan to launch in various jurisdictions and different countries. Is that an immediate plan? Is that in the next 2 years? I know that Femex gets people from many countries already, but we don't see your Femex's presence like we see like other big exchanges. They go and market in that in that country. Is that something that you plan to do in the future?
Yeah, we already started, and I think
Okay.
one or two new products in the local markets will be announced very soon. And it's we're still a young startup, right? It's not easy to operate a global company, and you have multiple sites. It takes time, and lots of exchanges they build more. They're elder than us, and they have more resources. They are trying to build, and want to do it the same way. And the global is big, is a huge market. Right, it's totally different from you operate only one country or one region, right? And we have to be open-minded. We have to have a clear mind and a clear roadmap to understand what we want to do, and that's something that Phemex probably will do a little bit different from other exchange. And you will see that probably by the end of this month, we'll have some announcement of some new products and the new markets. And myself really looking forward to those announcements.
Thank you so much, Jack. Looking forward to that. And thank you so much for taking out the time and supporting our hackathon and the summit. Really appreciate it, Jack.
Thank you so much. Hope to talk to you soon.
You too, Jack. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.